since I have lived in Belarus, I've been overwhelmed by the kindness and the consideration and the humbleness of the local population. I'll give you some examples. I've got countless examples pretty much every day, and you'll really be shocked that this could come from this kind of small, unknown country. So one example, when I first arrived here, like literally the first day or two, I couldn't speak any meaningful Russian, just some stuff off Duolingo, like apple, milk, bread, cat, horse, all of this crap that you don't need and get you nowhere during a conversation. I do have a little bit of something with my throat today, so bear with me, coughing and so forth. All right, so day one, day two, roughly, I'm looking for a protein powder shop. And trusty Google Maps shows me that, oh, look, there's one kind of there, right? So I go there. I go to the pin, location pin. I walk over there, and, oh, this is like a square. It's like an open, empty kind of environment. I'm like, oh, I wonder what's going on here. Maybe Google got it wrong. Because Google does get stuff wrong in this part of the world occasionally. It's actually pretty accurate for the most part, but it does send you to the wrong place sometimes. So I thought, oh, well, maybe, there seems to be a metro here. So maybe it's under where the metro is, right? So I go down to where the metro is, and I look around. I see, like, just the usual, a flower shop, a cake shop, just a typical handful of shops that you'll see near a metro entrance. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'll go down to the metro platform itself, because sometimes in Australia you have like these small kiosks, excuse me, these small kiosks on the platform, and maybe that's where it is, although pretty unlikely, but at this stage I don't know where else it could be, right? So I go in, and I haven't got a metro card yet, right? So I'm a newbie, I'm just literally fresh off the boat. So I was like, all right, I'll ask the lady here. Like, I knew the word Gadia, right? Where? So I'm like pointing at the shop on my phone saying, Gadia. And she's like, не знаю. So what she does, this older woman, she's like the attendant at the metro entrance. So she sees a young girl. And of course, you know, the younger people are here, higher the probability they have some English. So she yells out, Davushka, like this, right? Which is girl in Russian. That's how you would address a girl if you don't know the name girl. This is how it's done. So the girl and her mother come over to me. And it didn't work, right? Just couldn't work out what I was trying to say. And I didn't know how to phrase it so they might understand it better. So kind of gave up there. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get a metro card. I'm going to need one anyway. And I'll go down on the metro platform and try and find this protein powder shop, right? So I go off to the window there, and I get myself a nice metro card, 60-stop metro card. So I'm feeling very proud of myself. I come back to the entrance to go through the turnstiles there, and this lovely old lady had found me a young man in his 20s who looked very sharp. Turns out he's the typical IT kind of guy. His English is pretty good. He sounded a bit like, you know, those online programs where you can like type something and it can like create an artificial voice and speak to you. Kind of sounded like that, right? Lots of training to try to neutralize his accent. And I'm like, yeah, I just want to find this protein bar shop. If you could like point me in the right direction if you know it, or maybe it might be somewhere else. I don't know. And he says, oh, let's have a look. So he takes me, like he kind of leads me. I'm saying, oh, it's okay, man. Don't worry, you don't have to chaperone me. I'm just some random dude trying to find some gains, right? Like, really, it's not that hard. Just point me in a direction where it might be, or give me a hint. Anyway, he walks me to where the pin is. I'm trying to explain to him, like, yeah, I know where the pin is. I can get to the pin. I can see the little blue dot that I am, and where the pin is. That's the easy part, but it wasn't there. That's the point. But it's obviously linked to this network of shops somehow, maybe through a different entrance or something. He spent, I don't know how long in the end. And I'm constantly trying to get rid of him, not in a rude way, but just in a come on, man, you got something better to do than show me where a protein bar shop is. I can ask somebody else. Like, point me in the right direction. Or let's ask a few people and get there. You know, people work out things every day, right? It's not that hard. But he insisted, and he eventually found the protein powder shop for me. I'm just like, where do I even start? He must have burned at least 10 minutes of his day just helping me find friggin' protein powder shop. So this kind of stuff is so common. It is so common. People here will bend over backwards to help you, make you feel comfortable. Even the other day, I wasn't going to mention this, but I did a video the other day about this kind of dodgy working class kind of restaurant where everyone drinks, like, not everyone, but most people drink heavily just during the daytime. So I happened to be there with a buddy last week, and this fight broke out. There's chairs being thrown, and all the tables were picked up, and the cops came and the ambulance came, and it was all a bit of a hoo-ha. And after it, they came and apologized to us. Oh, sorry about that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're apologizing for, you just beat the shit out of each other. So this kind of stuff, right? Now let me give you a broader structural example. Actually, sorry, before I move on, I have to say, you will not see fights in Belarus. It's not a dangerous or violent place at all. At all. That was a very unusual once-off, and it started for what I would observe as a very legitimate reason, and probably would have started in Australia for much less. Yeah. So it's not a violent place, don't get that. It's way less violent than any Western country I can think of. Like, this is on par with, like, Japan. I'm not kidding you, in terms of safety. So don't let that little story jade your opinion of this place at all. Now, the other thing I wanted to say about on this topic is just in terms of consideration, kindness, and what have you, is they have, so in Australia, for example, right, if you've got a screwed up throat because of all the pollen here, like I have today, if it's nighttime, you're on your own. The pharmacy's shut at, say, 9 or 10 or 11, depending which one. And if you need something in the middle of the night, go to emergency. Right? That's your option. Now here, again, I think it's linked to that kind of kindness and consideration. They have what's called night pharmacies. Some of these pharmacies are open at night. They're not open, like the lights aren't on, but they have a little button that you can press, and someone's actually sleeping inside, and the button is like an alarm, and it will wake up the attendant, and then you can ask specifically for something, and then they'll sell this to you at 2 in the morning, 4 in the morning, whatever it is. So it's always available. Again, I think this comes back to that sense of kindness and consideration and looking after people. So I hope I've done some justice to this, what is largely a wonderful culture. And I hope I've given you some insight into this as well. I've made a lot of other videos about my experiences here in Belarus. You may want to check some of them out. If you enjoy them, do consider subscribing to my channel.